You're struggling with your college essay or starting to think about the college admission process and have a lot of questions. I get you. I was in the exact same position, wondering what can I do to stand out? How can I craft the perfect personal statement that is going to impress the admissions officers? And I believe it worked. It helped me get into Harvard College. And the point of this video is not to give you a template that will explain how to get into this particular college, but rather to just share 3 things that I believe will be helpful during the whole process of crafting your own unique story and sharing it with the whole world so that you can be able to see who you truly are. 3 things that we're going to cover. Number 1, how do you choose a story that is unique to you? Picking the perfect topic for your essay. Number 2, reading my own personal statement so that you can also take inspiration. See what did you like, what didn't you like. Number 3, what worked, what didn't. Right? Nothing is perfect. There are always imperfections. So it's important for me to be transparent about the certain things that I think could also have been improved. So at first, I had no clue what I wanted to write about, right? I know I needed something personal, but most of the topics that I had were either too cliche or they weren't deep enough, right? I wrote many ideas. I wrote about Olympiads, science fairs, a lot of drafts, my own YouTube channel, yoga, but none of them felt like the right story. They were impressive, sure, but they really didn't show the true, authentic me. Then I had an interaction with one of my friends at school who really helped me see the true self that I was trying to portray, who helped me reflect a lot and craft the perfect story that I'm proud of today. So something that I really recommend, grab a friend, rush through some ideas, brainstorm, go through the past. And this is not something you do in one sitting, right? Crafting the perfect personal statement takes time, and it's important for you to also be patient. So I'm just going to read it. This essay, mind you, is more than just words on a paper. To me, it's a reflection of my journey and the lessons that have really defined me. So as I read, I hope you can feel the emotions behind every single sentence. I hope you get to see the person who I truly am and what I value. So I'm just going to grab my essay and start reading. So I hope you can follow along. Just look at the screen. So I didn't choose a specific topic, right? So there are many options in the Common App, and I really just went with the free option where I can craft an essay and then give a topic of my own. But I really didn't put a topic at the end of the day. So let's read it out. Mathematics has built our life, my dear son. It has made me someone in society. My sister and I listen attentively, our evening meal of sadza momentarily forgotten, as our mother narrates her journey of raising us independently while pursuing her dream of teaching. If you don't know what sadza is basically a meal that we eat in Zimbabwe, sort of our staple food. It's a very nice, lovely meal. A couple of African countries eat it too, right? From selling tomatoes as a street vendor and mastering basic arithmetic for calculating change to a current role as a mathematics lecturer at Harare Polytechnic College, her story speaks of resilience. To me, my mother is the maestro of mathematics. She has shown me the transformative power of education, inspiring me to see where my path might lead. As the new year approaches on December 31st, 2023, I find myself captivated by my mother's undivided attention. After clearing out our evening dishes, I try convincing her to teach me mathematics after she's done grading a stack of student papers. Kelly, my sister, heads off to bed after our evening prayers, and I eagerly rush to fetch my large 4-quire notebook in anticipation of yet another thrilling lesson. Seeing math textbooks scattered across the entire house, on the couch, on the dining table, and even on top of the refrigerator only increases my excitement. Squinting as we settle down on our old disfigured brown couch, I absorb every detail as she thoroughly explains vector equations, squinting our eyes to see through our dim solar lights, which can flicker off at any moment. We quickly made the most of every moment. Despite the fireworks being lit outside with loud boom and jubilant celebrations taking place on New Year's Eve, I remained focused and bothered by the sounds. I know that prioritizing instant gratification at the expense of long-term fulfillment will not yield any results in the future, will not yield any success in the future. This realization allows me to be laser focused amidst all these occurrences. Keith, I don't know where that figure derives from. I guess you have to find out. She quips with resignation as we have hit a brick wall. A challenge has been encountered as we try to derive the vector equation of a line with three-dimensional coordinates. Yet, we can effortlessly complete calculations without that understanding. Our rule is simple. One should not heavily rely on formulas without fully understanding what they mean. We firmly believe that mathematics is more than just memorization and substitution. It is about true understanding and looking deeper to see the real beauty. My mother has imparted this mentality to me since childhood. Throughout high school, I've approached all my subjects with this guiding philosophy. I refuse to accept information at face value as just agreed upon facts. But I try to ask never-ending questions, bothering my teachers non-stop to ensure that I gain full understanding. This curiosity has made me view schooling and education from a different perspective, beyond mere grades or accolades, but as a valuable privilege for which I'm deeply grateful. As the lesson draws to an end, the struggle with vector equations remain unsolved, and my mother leaves me with the responsibility to diligently seek out the reasoning for the concept. It is days like these that make being at home enjoyable. Bonding with my mother over equations is an arrangement I would not have changed for the world. Growing up and observing my mother's simplistic but yet effective teaching method and dedication to helping other students has inspired me to develop a deep love for education. My friends often describe my home as being quite unconventional, but to me, it is a place that makes me grow, number one, academically. But to me, it is a place that makes me grow academically, nurturing my curiosity, but most importantly, making me feel loved. As I prepare for the next chapter in my life, the lessons that my mother has instilled within me will be essential in giving me purpose and direction in the future. Okay, that was my essay. Basically, that is the essay that I submitted to Harvard College. So, what worked? For me, I believe personally, I had a clear personal narrative, right? The story wasn't just about math. Number one, it was about family. It was about perseverance, my curiosity, right? And I believe colleges love seeing your passions shine through. And how do your passions connect all the way and tie back to your personal life, right? I had a unique perspective on learning, right? So instead of saying I love math, right, I showed why, right? I showed my mother's influence on my passion for math. The dim solar lights, right? For example, really gives you the picture, the mental picture of what's going on, right? I'm sitting on a little couch, I'm trying to focus and understand mathematics. The house is filled with a lot of books and all of that, right? So this is the famous show, don't tell, right? So instead of me just saying I love math, period, I showed that I loved math. And some of these things will resonate. For example, you can see where I mentioned how I just ask never-ending questions. You saw me asking questions, or I explained how I used to ask questions to my mother. And then now my teachers are writing recommendations about how I'm asking questions in class. So now it's tying together. The whole story is becoming, the same. It's becoming uniform, or so to speak, right? Authenticity. I believe it wasn't a forced essay, right? My excitement and love for education is real, right? Which is one of the things that prompted me to start my own YouTube channel. More on that later, as you continue to watch these videos, right? But I'm showing my love for education, my commitment that even though others are going through certain celebrations, I'm willing to go through the process to learn and do math because I love it, right? And an emotional connection is also something you can get from this essay, right? You're seeing my connection with my mother, right? Most people might bond over their mother with cooking, baking, dancing. For me, it's math, right? My mother is a math lecturer, so most of our time is interactions with mathematics, right? So it was important for me to actually show that particular thing. That's what I believe in. That's my emotional bond. That's the emotional attachment that you get out of my personal statement, right? Certain things didn't work. There are certain things that I believed I could have polished, certain things that I believed, could have really helped, right? Remember, these drafts takes time. This wasn't the first draft. I went to a lot of people. So really, really utilize people to really help you, right? My friends read these essays. I had a college counselor who helped me perfect my essays, send your essays to teachers, really just throw it to anyone who might be interested. But remember, diversity of thought can also ruin you, right? Because if too many people keep on giving you feedback that's contradictory, you're going to be confused. So also be careful about how you're able to get your feedback. So certain things that didn't work for me, number one can be, well, I mentioned how, I encountered a problem in math, but then I really didn't have enough time to then explain, right, certain concepts as to how, well, if I face this challenge, what do I do? How do I navigate those scenarios? I really didn't go into depth as to how I was then able to tackle the problem that I had introduced. And I feel like the ending would have been a little bit stronger. It feels a little cliche, right? As I prepare for the next chapter in my life, the lessons my mother has installed within me will be essential for giving me purpose and direction in the future. It seems a little bit, I don't know, it seems a little bit cliche, right? One of those statements that you just find in every essay. So I believe I could have made it a little bit personal. I guess it's a bit personal because it's my mother and not everyone's just going to write about that. But also trying to have, well, what purpose or direction am I talking about? That could have been a little bit better. So if there's something that you notice where you're like, that could have been a little bit better, just drop a comment below. If there's something that you really liked, a chain of thought that you hadn't thought of before, also drop that down. The college essay is not something that you can just do overnight, right? These things takes time. Crafting the best version of yourself, crafting the best story that you believe works for you takes time. And it's important for you to allow yourself to go through the whole process and to really allow your story to come through and allow your authentic self to be portrayed. So there you have it. That's my journey, right? Remember, your essay isn't about impressing admission officers. It's about telling your story in a way that's unique and authentic and the way that only you can. So take your time, dig deep, let your personality shine through. If you're stuck, don't worry. You got this. Just start writing. The rest will follow. Don't stress too much about, I have to get this perfect. I have to get this done. Don't do that, right? Now I want to hear from you. What was the hardest part about writing your college essay? If you're writing it, if you're about to write it, well, what are some of your ideas? Put them down in the comment section below. We can go through some of that if you want. Drop in the comments and let's chat. Let's help each other out. Craft the best personal statement and get into the university of your dream. And let's help each other out. And remember, your story is worth telling, right? Tell it boldly and tell it proudly. Always stay curious, stay humble, be a little bit kinder, and always be a little bit better. See you guys in the next one.